Now, post retirement, I have the opportunity to utilize the 4 to 5 hours college time as prime time for myself and use the same for rediscovering, whether it be adventure or reading or music. It is now time for myself. I am not accountable to any professional head during this time anymore. I have completed my professional career successfully, as they say, and now post retirement, it is now the time for me to enjoy the fruits of the hard work done. Also, post retirement, it is also my first solo ride out. During my week-long ride out, I would be in the Yamuna basin of the Shivalik ranges of the Himalayas. This river basin borders the states of Himachal and Uttrakhand. River Pabbar, which originates from Chirgaon near Rodu, River Gir Ganga from Karapathar near Jubal in Himachal, and River Tons, which borders the two states, all empty into the Yamuna basin. So I would be riding up to Chirgaon first, and from there to Chanchal Pass at 14,830 feet. This road connects Rodu with villages of Dodra Kuar across the pass. Some of the mountain ranges in this zone have an elevation of 17,000 feet. From Chirgaon to Karapathar, where I would be doing the Gir Ganga trek. A decade earlier also I had done this circuit and would love to see the changes now. My first day's destination is Dakpathar. At Dakpathar, there is a concrete barrage with 25 floodgates, and it is situated on the river Yamuna. This barrage serves to divert water into the East Yamuna Canal for hydroelectric power generation. The power plants have been generating electricity since 1965. Today I have to cover about 170 kilometers to reach Chirgaon, and the route I have to follow is mountainous and green. From Dakpathar I have to reach Deoban, then Tuni, Arakot, Hatkoti, Rodu, and finally Chirgaon. I would be following the rivers Tons and Pabbar. But from the start of my ride today, it has been raining. I have my rain suit and rain covers on, but I am anticipating slush and mud. The only fear I have is of slipping and taking a fall, because then it would require all my strength and might to get the bike back on its wheels. As per my itinerary, I was to proceed to Chanchal Pass this morning, but after seeing the weather forecast, I had to review my decision and refrain from going. Although the pass, situated at 14,800 feet, is only 34 kilometers and 2.5 hours away, the road at this time of the year and with the rain still on can be pathetic. Since I have already been there and beyond to the Dodra Kawar Valley once, also not much has changed around here, so going there a second time now is not a fascinating option for me. There is a single bus service between Rodu and Kawar, but the timings are such that one is required to make a night halt at Kawar. The other option that can be used is to take shared taxi service of Boleros. The most ideal time to be at the pass is morning, because by afternoon the winds catch on and the place becomes too windy and cold. The loss of my drone and my desperate attempt to retrieve it without any success also put me off. I had been using this particular drone for the past 1.5 years and with very excellent results. I would now have to get a replacement for it. Unobtrusively, it went sideways and crashed. Wish I had locked its sideways movement, knowing that it did not have sideways sensors. Anyway, it's gone. This morning I started from Karapathar in the rain and had to do a distance of only 50 kilometers in about 2 hours, but it took me almost 3 hours, as after Rodu there was a torrential downpour. However, being the apple season, the smell of apples was all over, and I came across a number of collection and loading centers all through. At Karapathar, I was greeted by the mist and the cold wind, as Karapathar is situated at a height of 8,770 feet and it overlooks the Jubbal Valley. It is a small village and is situated on the highway to Shimla. It has a small one-street market at the road bend. Strangely, none of the shops were selling apples, as one shopkeeper told me that there are no buyers here for the fruit. Today I had to do the Gir Ganga trek, and to and fro it is a 14-kilometer trek through very thick and dense deodar forests. I was hoping to spot a Himalayan bear or see some exotic birds, but the early morning rain left the trail very slushy, muddy and slippery. All I could hear were cricket sounds. Midway through the trek, I decided to turn back as the slush was turning out to be insurmountable, and the rain clouds above in the sky too were threatening. Also, my running shoes could hardly provide any traction, and an injury was imminent. Hence, I called it a day for another opportune time. Rodu and the surrounding areas have many Nepali immigrants who work on the apple orchards. On my return journey home, the only exciting moment now is that the weather has cleared up and there is a clear blue sky and the sun is shining brightly. The temperature is rising with the day. I am following the same route from Hatkoti to Dakpathar, but in the reverse direction. That is Hatkoti to Arakot, Tuini, Deoband, and then Dakpathar. The Himalayan mountains are very steep and fragile mountains. It is composed of mud and stones, unlike the Rocky Alps. It is impossible to make a road cut and leave a 60 degrees incline. The inclination is more than that, and every monsoon brings down the debris onto the road. The rains have washed the lube of the drive chain and it is running dry and it is rattling. It is adding to my worries as I am not carrying the chain lube, and the mountainous area in this part has no proper service station. Somehow I have to reach Dakpathar or Vikasnagar or beyond to get it lubed. After a night halt at Dakpathar and after getting the drive chain lubed at some local shop at Nangal, I have reached my favorite joint at Mansurpur for breakfast. And from here I am barely 40 kilometers away from my home.